Wait for it. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Deep Thoughts on SNL podcast. Leah's imitating my arms up. An SNL review and discussion show. My name is Rob Moden. With me today are...
Oh, we didn't go over this.
Alphabetical. First names.
Leah Sueko comes before M. Go!
And MacKay. It's me.
Hey.
Woo!
Okay.
Woo! It's late at night, and this is a weirdo episode, so we don't know where this is going to go. But this is an SNL review and discussion.
Heavy girl-on-girl action.
Yeah! And we're here to talk about the Chris Rock and Prince episode, even though we might not want to. And, yeah. We're here, we're going to do it. So, let's talk about the episode overall. Let's talk about how weird it was, because I think some reviews have gone up. AV Club, Vulture seem to not think that episode was a weird episode, but I think everyone who was on Twitter last night realized that was a fucking weird episode.
Yeah, Twitter was really super negative about it, and if I can use some strong language, flippity-flop, what was going on? What was
Yeah,
it?
no, I don't know. I mean, it started off really strong, and Chris Rock delivered, I mean, as expected, a really solid monologue, and then it just got weirder and weirder and just sort of went to a strange place. I don't know. I have no idea what happened. We're going to investigate right now.
I think in general it was just very low energy, right?
Mm-hmm.
The entire episode was just so low energy, and so nobody was really selling whatever they were doing because it was just all very flat.
It was like a vicious cycle of like the audience seemed a little quieter than usual, but also, and then the performers seemed a little off altogether, and it was just like feeding into itself.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's start with the first sketch, because I actually came into the show about 10 minutes too late, so I didn't see the opening or monologue. But I thought the opening was actually, maybe only on the basis of Bobby Moynihan's Chris Christie, one of the more enjoyable ones so far. I don't know if anybody agrees. Leah looks like she's about to explode with something.
No, I actually I am a big hater of the opening sketch. And I actually really enjoyed this one because it was shorter than it normally is, and there was some, Kate McKinnon came in and kind of stole it with her,
Kate McKinnon
crazy.
was great. She was great.
Yeah.
That cockiness, just like, I got Ebola, I don't care.
Yeah, smart, strong woman who's lost her mind.
I'm just throwing out M&M's barehanded to kids on Halloween. I can't remember. Did anybody write any of those quotes down? Because she had a bunch of different stuff. I can't remember.
No, I just wrote Chris Christie, and I don't know what that means. I think it means that I liked it.
I think that's a solid note.
I love
Lots to build
SNL.
on from there. Lots to build on.
Every time SNL hates New Jersey, I love it.
I do too.
Yeah.
I loved Bobby Moynihan's Chris Christie breaking down at the mention of Obama coming for during Hurricane Sandy.
Yeah.
Being there for the worst 3 days.
Hours. Windbreaker.
There you go.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go.
I forgot
And
about
we're
that.
like, look at that house.
It was fantastic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
So
in
going into
retrospect,
it, I had high hopes because I was like, I actually really enjoyed the opening, and then it just plummeted to the ground after that.
you're getting ahead of yourself a tiny bit. Maybe in retrospect, we're enjoying the opening
Don't
more.
tell
if
me
I'm
what
not
I
being terrible. All right. So then I don't I'm actually hesitant to go forward, go sketch by sketch, because I know at some point we're just gonna be like, I don't know anymore. I don't know what's going on. Next is the monologue. There's some controversy online about the monologue and whether it was offensive. I thought it was fine in terms of controversy and pretty funny. The audience seemed to get on board eventually.
Eventually, but it was crickets for the first good. He had to say 26 miles a good 10 times before the audience was like, okay,
26 miles.
26 miles.
26 miles.
And then
It was
someone
like
yelled, "Run!"
Megan, your thoughts?
It was like watching like a really old person get onto a roller coaster. Like it's like watching the audience get on board with that joke. They were just like sort of like, okay, I guess. And then once they got on, it was like, bam, like they were into it. And by the end of the monologue, I feel like they were totally buying it, which is, I mean, you could almost feel people in the audience being like, yeah, this is gonna be a good episode. I'm on board. I'm ready to give this a try. Which was kind of nice. But, I mean, again, it's just Chris Rock doing stand-up, which he's known for and he's fantastic at. So it didn't – we went into it, like, expecting – I did, anyway, expecting Chris Rock to do some stand-up that he wrote himself. And it was pretty good. It was pretty good, I'd say. It's solid stand-up.
I think maybe Rock like went into the stand-up just a bit too quickly, and that might be why the audience wasn't on board. But I thought it was filled with a lot of great details. I liked does the building duck? The idea that like the Freedom Tower is only filled with like mandatory services so that people have to go and visit it. I liked a lot of it, and yeah, and how he's never gonna go back to the place he was robbed.
Yeah, 48th and 8th. I'm never going to go there because I know he was robbed there. I'm not going to 48th and 8th.
I don't go to New York City.
You log that away. I go to New York. I'm logging that away.
Next up,
getting into Harlem territory. I'll pass.
Because you're a racist. The next sketch was.
I can say that. You can't say that.
Your vague mixed raceness, Leah, lets you say it.
My ethnically ambiguous nature lets me say that.
Next was Sashir Zameda's maybe first potential recurring character, which was How to Dance with Janelle, I think was the name of it.
I hope not. Well, no, I hope so, because I have Sashir, so fingers crossed, like 5 more of those sketches.
I liked it enough. I thought there were weird moments. Again, it's like the audience just like did not laugh at the first like Chris Rock or Jay Pharoah bits, and like from there it was already like a weird thing where like the cast was already like the audience doesn't seem on board. I don't know what to do. I liked Kyle Mooney. I love sketches led by Kyle Mooney and Sashir Zameda. I think that alone is very entertaining. Megan, what are your thoughts?
I think that's where the crackle was with like you feel like with Mooney and with Zameda, just like they work together so nicely, and like I feel myself thinking like I want to see more of those two characters playing together kind of thing. Chris Rock came in and added to it, but I really think that the highlight of that sketch for me was seeing the two of them play off of each other just like so beautifully. Just interesting dynamic with Mooney, so I covered that in my speaking words. Yes, but I am curious. I am curious to see what they're going to do without Chris Rock. Like, what other characters are going to come in and interrupt and be like outraged by her dancing? I want to know what the mileage is there, I guess.
Right, if they don't have the father around, that's a good point.
Totally.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Leah?
I agree, because I was really behind it when it was Mooney and her, and I thought that was really funny, and I thought Chris Rock came in and kind of killed the trajectory of
of
the sketch. Is that wrong? Is that the
I don't think trajectory is a word. The
trajectory?
The trajectory or the projection?
I was doing like I was mixing a couple of words together. I'm not going to say which ones because it would lead to a whole other kind of conversation. But
when trajectory becomes the word of the year, we know that it started here. Just like when truthiness started on Colbert.
Truthiness, trajectory.
There you go. I liked a lot of little details. Sorry, Leah, you had a little more.
No. I was going to say I want to tell you what 2 words I was combining there, but it's not appropriate whatsoever. So.
Wait, it wasn't projection and trajectory?
Nope, that wasn't the pre I was going for.
I follow. I get it. I got it. I just got it in my head.
Megan, you can tell me later.
Yeah.
I liked. I don't know if it was on purpose. Did anybody else notice how drenched in sweat Mooney's armpits were?
I did. Yes. I haven't done anything yet.
I totally.
Was it a wardrobe thing? Was it on purpose? Did they spray it down, or was that him?
It must have been on purpose. Like, it must have been on purpose. There's no
I
way.
think it was him. I think it was him. I'm going to be.
Man can sweat that much. Like, there's no way. In like 3 minutes, it must have been wardrobe. It must have been wardrobe.
It wasn't even after 3 minutes of sketch. It was at the beginning of the sketch. It was already pre-drenched.
He might get nervous. He might still get nervous. I'm sweating right now, and this is just over the internet. That like 5 people are watching, and I'm like, I had to put a sweater on so you can't tell that I'm sweating.
If it helps at all, it's not mere 5 people watching. So.
It does. I can relax a little bit now.
And I also like Chris Rock's old man dancing. He had like a great, like, it was almost Paul Rudd-esque with his old man dancing.
Yeah, it was.
It's fantastic. Next up is GoPro, which I have nothing to really say. I like the one line which was like, sick, and Kenan Thompson's doctor just paused and goes, yes. And
Yes.
that was it.
I did like that.
Leah, you had something to talk about here.
No, I didn't. Did I?
Wasn't this
That's not a great camera to buy if you're in the market for a camera. It's not a really solid option. I don't know about colonoscopies. Maybe they are really handy. Beautiful footage. The sound is shit. I wouldn't buy one. But I'm not a snowboarder, so.
Did you have something to talk about in terms of prostate and not just whether or not you like the camera?
Oh, was it prostate? I was actually going for the Weekend Update joke.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
This was a colonoscopy. This wasn't prostate. No, too soon.
But it's up there. Like, it's up there. We're just.
It's all in the general area.
Yeah.
I don't really.
I really liked, whoa, moguls! I don't know why I really liked that. Just like, oh my god. And Grandpa's colonoscopy, I mean, that was just so stupid, but like perfect. Like, I really liked that moment.
I don't know why.
Black and white giant camera, like, why?
Yeah.
I
Why?
don't know why that didn't work for me. Well, actually, I didn't like the filter or like back then it's like mugging, but the fact that they were putting a giant old-timey film reel projector camera into it, yeah, that was.
I loved it, so there we go. Just have to disagree. That's fine.
Leah, considering the prostate thing is something later, do you have any thoughts on this sketch, though?
Don't buy GoPro.
Is this one of the? By the way, is this one of the 3 notes you made on this episode? I want to make sure we cover that you wrote three
No,
notes.
because in my mind, I'm like, I don't need to make a note on this. I mean, it's mentally logged in my brain forever. Don't buy a GoPro. It's a waste of money.
How is
But
GoPro?
if you have money
so bad?
to waste, yeah, do that.
What did GoPro do to you that makes you so upset?
It's just not. I mean, it shoots really nice footage, but it's really not a very good buy, and it's not very useful in everyday life. So, if you're going on a long road trip and you're a trust fund baby, yeah, invest in the GoPro. But otherwise, GoPro's totally gonna sue me. How many times have I said GoPro?
I don't think that's the thing they're going to be upset about. The fact that you said GoPro over and over and over again is probably good. The fact that you say it's a terrible camera is probably what they're upset about.
It's not a bad camera, but it's not a good investment. It's not a good investment.
You told people not to buy it. That's a fact.
People not, unless you're a snowboarder or you need a colonoscopy. Don't buy GoPro.
That's the quote that's going to be taken out from this episode. Put onto GoPro advertising posters.
Get a flip camera. They're way nicer and they have audio.
What's a flip cam? Oh, wait, I was thinking of a flip camera phone. Like a flip phone. Just like Leah's still
Big fan of
holding
those
on
as well. I had a flip phone until like a year ago. What? Do something. They're amazing.
I thought only people living in bunkers still had flip phones, like afraid to go outside, like sure that the nuclear winter had happened.
Yeah, I got rid of my flip phone when I was in line at Arby's, and I got up to the cash register, and I pulled out my flip phone because I'm cool, and the guy was like, yeah, I had one of those like 5 years ago, and I was like, okay, cashier from Arby's, calm down. Don't judge me. So he had a nicer phone than me, and then I was like, I guess I'll get a better phone.
So right now, the list of never advertisers for this show: GoPro, Arby. Are there any other companies that you hate the products of?
I love Arby's. I don't like their mouthy cashiers.
You went to Arby's and then you talked about an Arby's cashier like he was human garbage just because he worked at Arby's.
Don't throw shade at me, Arby's man. That's all I'm saying. So, I just want my Big Mac and cheese. I don't need all of your sass and attitude about my phone.
You haven't helped the Arby's case by claiming that Arby's have Big Macs. You are not helping.
No.
Guys, why don't we do this podcast late at night all the time? I don't understand.
Oh my god! Why don't we do this podcast at Arby's? Like,
let's all go to Arby's. There's one like 3 blocks from me. I can go up there with my computer.
Next is How's He Doing? We've seen this sketch with Kerry Washington. We actually saw it first with Maya Rudolph, which a lot of people, at least in Navy Club and Vulture and Hitfix and stuff, seem to forget. I really like the Kerry Washington version. I liked the idea of Obama having worse security than R. Kelly.
Yep.
They try to get into R. Kelly's yard, see what happens, which is totally true. And the idea of Sasha and Leah watching Scandal and getting very upset when they aren't allowed to watch it. Leah, what were your thoughts on How's He Doing?
I actually preferred this How's He Doing to the Kerry Washington one.
Really?
Yeah, I liked it a bit more. I want to say it seemed a bit softer. It wasn't quite as edgy as the Kerry Washington one. So I feel like, and there was like twice as many black people there, so that was exciting.
Yay.
No, I would say this was probably one of the stronger skits of the night, in my opinion.
Megan,
but it was still kind of like flatlined and low energy.
A little bit.
I don't know.
Chris Rock always seemed like a half second behind, and even I only noticed that on the rewatch, but it still seemed to throw everything off a little bit. I don't know. Megan?
It was weird to me how out of place he seemed doing sketch comedy, seeing as this is where he started, and he seemed like this had never been in his universe before.
It's weird. I mean, I liked the sketch, but it really felt draggy. Like it felt like a little bit, and I think it was just because I don't know if there was a cue card issue. It was last night, right? I don't know if there was a cue card issue or what was going on, but all of the sketches you felt like there were so many flubs and so much drag that it was. I don't know. I don't know, but I really felt it in this sketch. Although, Shut Up Bitch, We Watching Scandal was amazing. That was fantastic. And the other thing I noticed was there was a think piece, I want to say a couple weeks ago, about can deliver any line and make it funny, and this sketch really proved that for me. He just dominated. Keenan Thompson. I don't know. I feel like he had a lot of really good moments in that sketch, and I've been noticing it more and more over the weeks as they pass. Sunrise.
Now, Megan, you didn't actually you haven't been part of this podcast before, so you don't know that
no.
This is a long simmering tension where Leah believes that Kenan Thompson is a national treasure.
Okay.
She's pumping her fist
Kenan. That's the other podcast I run.
A spin-off podcast, Kenan. She's pumping her arm like Arsenio Hall right now.
Okay.
And us Canadians, and she claims it's just because we're from Canada.
It is just because you're from Canada.
Claim that Kenan is generally overused and mugs a bit too much, and I don't know.
Oh my God. He mugs so much. He does mug a lot, but that's also why I love it. You know what I mean?
That's why you love him!
Yeah, you can fall back on a good old-fashioned Kenan mug if everything else is going wrong. You know what I mean?
He's on my team, and I still haven't completely come around to him, but Leah found an ally.
Yay!
Yay,
friends.
Leah, maybe I had it wrong. Maybe it's that all girls love Kenan Thompson. If you're going to generalize.
I've talked to plenty of men who love Kenan.
Why are you going around? I just have the idea of you out on the street after...
I do! Just go up to people and ask them their thoughts on Kenan Thompson.
It's like man on the street interviews with people you don't even know. You're like, what do you think of Kenan Thompson?
Exactly.
You're going up to people, you're
Somebody
awkwardly...
is within 5 feet of me, the first thing I'm asking them is, what do you think about Kenan Thompson?
Are you interviewing bugs on the street?
Sometimes. Squirrels are out of control here, though. Don't talk to them. Out of control.
Oh, man. I assumed you were just talking to people, but obviously...
I was making an obscure reference to... I was making an obscure reference to Mike O'Brien's insect reporter that Leah loves.
Okay, gotcha.
And then she went off on a tangent about squirrels. And, yeah.
I mean, that was another thing, but it's relative. So, as Albert Einstein would say.
Guys, squirrels and bugs are relative, Albert Einstein.
It's on his tombstone. That's a real quote.
Yeah.
It's all relative.
Next up was Prince. What are thoughts on Prince? I feel like he's clearly in control of everything. He's very gifted and great. I don't know if he's for me at all. Anybody want to jump in here?
I mean, he does music real good. That's I don't know. I feel like every musical guest SNL has, I'm like, oh, you did it. I don't really have any opinions.
Well done.
Which is a shame because Prince he's done it for a long time, and I should be more respectful. But that's some of my feelings of you did it, Prince.
That's the best description of musical guests on SNL, and just the kind of semi-dread I have for if I have to watch them. Just you did it. You did music.
That's it. Every week, that's how I respond. You know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Leah?
I fast-forwarded through 6 minutes of it. So
of the 8 minutes?
Of the 8 minutes, I fast-forwarded probably 7.5, to be fair. Let's be fair. 7.5.
He did jump from, I think he was playing keyboard, and then he sang, and then he did guitar. He did a bunch of stuff. I admire him more than I like him.
I appreciate his contribution to Pretty Woman. Great scene in the bathtub with Julia Roberts.
We can't discount Bat Dance. We can't do it. We're not allowed.
Yeah, no, let's not discount that. I mean, he's had some solid stuff, but...
Bat Dance and Pretty Woman, basically.
No! What are we doing? Why are we allowed to talk about Prince? This seems like...
Look, guys, this Prince guy, he's had some hits. Pretty Woman. Bat Dance. He's a legend in music.
It wasn't even Pretty Woman. He did Kiss. The song was called Kiss. That wasn't Pretty Woman. I feel like people are going to be like, he didn't sing Pretty Woman. No, he sang Kiss, which Julia Roberts sang in Pretty Woman, Angry.
I want to start that rumor
YouTube
now that it was actually it was honestly Prince who sang Pretty Woman.
Oh no. Oh my god.
Oh Jesus, we got the giggles.
This is the giggliest podcast yet. Now, where was? No, we didn't skip over it. But update is next. I didn't take many notes for update. Michael Che made her flub.
But he re-announced Prince, so nice save.
Yeah.
There were jokes that stood out to you, Leah? At least I think this is the prostate thing.
Oh.
So Colin Ghost made the comment about men who have sex versus men who don't have sex are twice more likely to get prostate cancer.
Yes.
And then he said, well, I'm sold. I'm going to have sex.
It was less likely, I think. Less likely to have prostate cancer.
Yeah, you're less likely. You're twice as less likely. So you won't get prostate cancer if you have sex.
Yes.
Basically.
Yeah.
But no, I kind of get, because we're going into November where men grow the beards for prostate cancer awareness, and I am really annoyed annoyed with this whole prostate. You guys and your balls really annoy me.
What?
Do you know the fatality rate of prostate cancer? 2%. Do you know what has a higher fatality rate than that? Fucking everything. And you guys, with all of your... Ugh.
So your problem wasn't with the joke, it was more with the idea of prostate cancer being something to be scared about.
Yeah, I kind of get being... You're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine.
I mean,
at worst you lose a ball. You didn't need it anyway.
Wait, is prostate cancer connected to testicular cancer?
I mean,
I think so.
Why would prostate cancer make you lose a ball?
I don't know, because you all deserve to lose one. You all need less of them.
Oh, God. Megan?
I just missed all of that because my Hangout froze. But I kind of get the fear of not wanting cancer. Like, I kind of get that.
If you're gonna get a cancer, that's the best cancer you can hope for. Fact.
Okay, I will.
Again, cancer is not going to advertise with us after this.
Cancer is done with us. Oh, man. Okay, so I was on a bit of a jost kick. I mean, my life is one big long
Megan,
jost kick.
Megan,
yes.
we need to talk about Jost. Are you for Jost or against Jost?
I am deeply in love with Colin Jost. I'll be real. Let's be real. Let's talk about it. I tweeted about it last night, and then one of my followers retweeted it, but so ruined my life.
Sorry,
really
you cut out for a second. I don't know if it was from the Google Hangout in general or me, but basically you tweeted about him being a beautiful Ken doll / Disney prince, and then somebody quoted you and then favorited it.
He did. He saw it.
Yeah.
The worst. Just the worst. Just the worst thing that could have happened to me.
Now here's the thing. Leah has seen Colin Jost do stand-up before he was announced as Weekend Update anchor.
I talked to that bitch, okay?
You told him about the Fantasy League, I think?
I told him about the Fantasy League. I asked him to say, Matt and Rob suck. And recorded into my phone. And this very tall man came up to me and was like, no. He can't do press. He's not allowed to talk about SNL. And I was like, who the fuck are you standing next to this tiny little Colin Jost guy? But yeah, it's like his bodyguard or something, and yeah, it was very strange. But he wasn't that good, and yeah, he's only gone down in my esteem, so.
Kayla, one of our viewers, is asking who doesn't love Colin Jost. So.
Thank you. I guess that's settled.
It's you and Caitlin against me, so I guess it is.
Kayla.
Thank you, Kayla. I appreciate that. I really appreciate that, Kayla.
Thanks, Kristen.
Were there any jokes that I actually really liked that joke? I liked Jost's delivery. Every show Jost has like one joke that makes me I really liked his delivery on, and this one was it where he's just like, I'm sold.
Every 3 episodes, he has one really good delivery.
I think you're being harsh. I think you're being a little harsh. Look at the positive. Come on.
Okay.
I really liked Eat What This Clown Killed. I thoroughly enjoyed that. And Dobage. On a second viewing, I liked Dobage, but first time.
What was the Dobage joke?
It was
croissant and donut.
Yeah, the cronut thing where Dunkin' Donuts doing something cronut, but they're calling it a Dobage, like a mix of donut and garbage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But Eat What This Clown Killed is the one that I'm framing this week, putting on my wall. Gotta add to the shrine, man. Gotta add to the shrine.
He has very big teeth.
So now we start to get into... Well, actually, hold on, wait. We should talk about Pete Davidson.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pete Davidson was great. I didn't get the chance to write anything down because he was just constantly putting out great details. Mm-hmm. Obviously, the big laugh line / horrible line was, I can't use condoms. Are you a doctor or my best friend?
My best friend.
My best friend. What's next? Is my dad coming back?
I did love that.
Good on.
Evidently, he's catching a lot of flack. I read a couple of articles about people getting really upset, thinking he actually sent his mom a picture of his penis.
There was I sent you
this.
the link. SNL Trivia, which is another Twitter account, like seemed to claim that he never did that, and then like Pete Davidson responded and said that he definitely did, and then SNL Trivia posted like a screenshot of what looked like an iMessage or a Facebook thing, theoretically with somebody related to Pete Davidson saying that Pete Davidson is lying. Like I don't know what the drama is in the saga behind this, whether or not Pete Davidson actually texted him.
No, I was reading a couple of different articles that were about that.
How are there multiple articles about whether Pete Davidson texted him?
Why would you not accept this as a joke? I don't understand. I don't understand why you.
Late at night. I thought you were being truthful. I did not.
No. I don't understand why people are like taking that. That's wrong. Don't send your mom a picture of your junk. Why would you think he's being serious?
Because my mom has never seen my junk before.
Has she not? I find that
That was silence. Again,
disingenuous.
Joking. Why are you? That was almost as much silence as Leslie Jones in the couple sketch.
Oh my god, and the earrings? The earrings. She was putting on, how many fucking earrings was she putting on her ears? The entire, like, 4 minutes.
Are we jumping? We can jump ahead to the couple sketch. How many times did Chris Rock button and unbutton his shirt? He's doing it constantly.
But did you see her with the earrings? That was driving me up the wall. I was like, what? Did she forget she already put on her? It was like she was taking them off and then putting them back on. I was like, It was like, remember 30 Rock when Alec Baldwin doesn't know what to do with his hands when they're videotaping him? I felt like that was Leslie Jones in the sketch.
It felt like watching a rehearsal is what it felt like. It was very strange.
Well, here's the weird thing, because the sketch that's on NBC.com when I rewatched, it doesn't have the part where Leslie Jones flubbed for like 5 seconds. But I don't know if it's edited out or if it's the dress rehearsal version, because the audience is just as quiet as it was on the live broadcast, and I can't believe that if that was the dress rehearsal reaction to the sketch going correctly, then it would have made the live version. I don't understand. By the way, sorry, just really quick, Brian chimed in, regular co-host Brian, saying the prostate is not part of a man's balls.
Shut up, Brian. Nobody needs your 2 cents.
He wants to clarify. But yeah, that was a weird sketch. Sashir coming in at the very end, just yelling at them for arguing.
That was the sketch. I was honestly, at that point, I was watching and going, what the flippity flop is going on here?
Bobby
what is
Moynihan's
happening right now?
Gruff Uber driver. I counted. There were 3 Uber mentions in the show, 2 in this sketch.
So they're definitely getting sponsored by Uber.
Yeah. Megan, what were your thoughts on this?
So I have a really intense conspiracy theory about this sketch.
Go for it.
I think what happened is they make serious rewrites, and it just threw the whole thing off and made it really confusing. But even at a premise level, the stretch for this sketch for me is like, even at a premise level, it's like it's not a particularly interesting premise, but it can be executed in a passable way, and it just felt like it was really lacking. And I've never seen a sketch like that where I felt like, oh, that was really like such a miss. I haven't seen a sketch like that on SNL in the longest time.
In a long time.
Like what was the actual game of the sketch? Like what was the core joke of the sketch? Is just like they're arguing? That's it?
Yeah, it was
very people hate each other was, I think, the simple. But that's like stuff I write in my bathtub drinking wine. Like I don't understand it.
I think like the thing that really took me out of it, the very first like red flag for me was when Leslie, I forget what, he said, why did you just get into the shower after calling Uber, or something like that, and her line was like, oh, I'll just get dirty again before we leave. I paraphrased it in my notes. But, like, it's such a naturalized premise, and, like, they're trying to do it in such a naturalized way, and then they take out, like, oh, that's not really a logical thought process, and that was sort of, like, the first, like, I don't know.
It doesn't even make, like, joke logic at all.
Yeah, it doesn't make world logic, life logic, joke logic, nothing, and then from there it was sort of like, there were flubs, and then it got a little bit and it just broke down and dissolved into, some like just logical land is what I would say, which is a shame because they're both so funny. They should have been able to save it, but oh man, so sad.
Yeah, it was just kind of all a bunch of a bunch of miss jokes. Yeah. It was very strange. It was very strange.
Yeah, the pop-ins, like Bobby and Sashir, didn't really add too much to it or make any sense. So it's, I don't know. I think I don't know. I really think it must have gone through rewrites or something. It didn't look rehearsed.
I felt the same way, where I was like, these lines have never been said before, ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe that's why, because I'm fairly sure it was the live version but edited, because that maybe like the dress rehearsal version was so different that they couldn't even put that up on NBC.com. Like I don't even know. Kayla comes back on Twitter and does point out the nice detail about Barack Obama being on the wall.
I really like that. I did like
that. That was the only nice touch. I was like, Barack Obama was hanging up on there.
It was the kind of thing you noticed like halfway through the sketch, and you're like, what? And are they going to reference it? And they don't, and that makes it better.
It's Barack Obama and Jesus, like hanging right beside each other. It was good. It was funny.
By the way, Leah definitely, I saw from her face, it happened to her too. But so I think it's gonna be true on the YouTube version. But basically, Megan, like your connection like slowed down during Barack Obama. So you were like saying like Barack Obama and
I'm glad you could read that from my face. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I have a lot of
expressions. We know each other at this point. There we go.
Great. I'm glad this is good. Oh man, I'm gonna throw my computer off of a roof after this.
But that was honestly like. Now we skipped over Shark Tank / ISIS, but like back to back, this couple and the Shark Tank thing. Even going back and seeing those first couple of sketches that I missed during watching it live, I think those first couple of sketches made the whole episode a little bit better for me, but like seeing those two sketches overall, I think are back to back is what makes a lot of people go like, what the hell happened on the show last night? Because let's talk about the Shark Tank sketch.
Yes.
What the hell happened? Because like it was just, and I could see it like if it had gone well, I could see like a version of this sketch where the audience loves it, and it's like used in clips like in future anniversary specials about like how edgy and topical the show is, but like nobody was into it at all. Like it was
no.
Actually, now thinking back on it, it actually seems more like a Studio 60 premise.
It does seem like a Studio 60. My brother's in Afghanistan!
Megan, are you familiar with the TV show Studio 60 on the Sunset Strip?
I am familiar.
I can make it more realistic if you want me to throw a chair at the computer screen.
Just throw a chair and then yell, "This is comedy!" People take it seriously.
Oh,
we are big fans of Studio 60.
I love Studio 60, just so everybody knows. Big fan over here. Nate Cordry, you get yours. Love you, man.
Nate Cordry wasn't taking it seriously. Rob Cordry was in Afghanistan. Yeah, so the Shark Tank sketch, we got to talk about it. The Shark Tank sketch, some positives. Kyle Mooney in a lead role.
But bad call.
Bad call?
Yeah.
You think he's in charge of which sketches he's in charge of?
I absolutely don't think that, but I think somebody would have been better.
I don't know, maybe. Pete Davidson and Jay Farrow were completely quiet the entire time. I don't know if they had lines that were cut or something, but they were just standing there with guns. The all the impressions on Shark Tank. I haven't watched enough Shark Tank, but they all seem like kind of like not specific enough.
Mhm.
The one part I liked was 80 Bryant's breakfast pasta.
That was the only good thing about the entire sketch.
We're all big fans of 80 Bryant. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Like, yes.
80 Bryant she would have saved this episode.
She should have been in more stuff where she's just like, I'm ruined, and then it cuts. It was great.
It was really solid. Katie, and then Beck's. I think Beck was Kevin O'Leary. Is that right?
I think so. And I'm sure Kevin O'Leary's ego is much bigger now that he was impersonated on SNL.
Oh, of course it is. It's just going to keep growing until it's the whole universe. But when he says, "What's to stop me from?" Hold on. What's to stop me from going out there and doing the exact same thing to ISIS? I was like, okay, that if it was more like that, then I could see the sketch maybe working. I really like that line. It did not get a laugh, but like that kind of like Shark Tank logic. If they borrowed more of that, it might have worked. It just was very like, ooh, like the whole time you're like tugging on your collar, like, oh, ew, awkward moment. Yeah. Yeah, I have WTF.
There was silence on almost everything Rock and Mooney said. I actually, watching it again, I liked the phrase "word of bullet" instead of "word of mouth."
Yeah.
Like no audience response. Rock was going in and out of the accent. I don't know if anybody.
Way in and out of the accent.
I don't know who on Twitter noticed that, but somebody tweeted it last night.
I mean, you couldn't not notice that. I don't know if it was Twitter worthy, but.
But like, I feel like he just bailed halfway through, kind of, because he's like the audience isn't on board. Who cares?
Yeah, he's like, this isn't working.
I think
what's the next sketch?
Yeah, he looked really surprised that it wasn't working, and I was like, this was a high risk, high reward.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. It just wasn't thought through. Again, it was like a Studio 60 thing where the joke was like
in the premise.
On Shark Tank. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My eyes got really big there. I don't know why.
They did get quite big. You were shocked
it's
at what
not
he
working,
was
you guys.
saying.
We gotta move on.
We have to move on.
What was that? What else was I gonna say? It was just a weird thing. It was just.
I did like Kate McKinnon's thing about love you guys, love what you're about, but am morally against you, so I cannot invest. And I thought that was kind of funny.
And there was like a line like, "It's real intimidating to look at you, and I appreciate that, or I value that in you." And Taron Killam's Mark Cuban saying like something about like geopolitical terrorism units are a big risk. I've been burned before or something. Just anyway, I don't know. Just and then
I don't know.
Let's hold on. Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift was great.
Yes, I really liked this sketch. Swift and Mean.
Swift and Mean.
Sorry,
it was fantastic. No, go ahead. It's totally great. Do you have anything more besides that to?
Yeah, I love it when SNL does sketches about people and just like straight up are unapologetic about loving them. Just being like, yeah, like everyone loves Taylor Swift, and just being so real about it because I think a lot of people like sort of feel that way, which makes it relatable. And relatability in comedy, you guys. Also, Shut Up, This Is a Perfect Song. Was amazing. I just think it was a really clever premise, super fun, straight commercial parody that totally worked. And in any other episode, I think it would like maybe get a little bit lost. But in this episode where you're like, it's sandwiched in between Shark Tank and the couple sketch, it just like popped and it was so good, in my opinion. I really liked it. Yeah.
Leslie Jones kind of filled that for me.
Totally.
Leslie Jones coming out in the swan costume.
Yes.
I loved that. I was dying. But yeah, I think any other episode I would have been like, eh. Yeah.
Well, I feel that more about the bank robber sketch, which we're going to talk about. I feel like
I feel that
because I genuinely think that was cut from another episode, but
But then they were like, "Fuck, this episode's horseshit, so let's put it in here."
Jesus. But
it was great, SNL. Sorry, guys.
The Taylor Swift thing, I loved a lot of the details. As somebody who was like kind of annoyed with Taylor Swift as a person. Let's not forget that she said that Tina Fey and Amy Poehler are going to hell. I liked some of the little details, just like Vanessa Bayer's character, who was just like, I saw an interview with her, and she's just like, I'm Taylor Swift, and I'm all like, no. And then, and Beck Bennett's Dr. David Doctor, which is a great character name. That's a 30 Rock quality name. And and him saying, oh, yeah, the ears say, shut up, this is a perfect song, but the brain says, Taylor Swift, doesn't she always wear like a 1950s bathing suit? I really liked it. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, I did too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the other two sketches were so unfortunate that it's. I mean, I don't want to be like, it's kind of glad they were bad because this one, it made us shine, but kind of.
No, I feel like this might be something that gets nominated for an Emmy just because of what it was sandwiched between. People will probably watch it and be like,
do sketches get nominated for Emmys?
I don't know. I just say these things. I have no fucking idea.
You're in the industry, Leah. You're in the industry.
Yeah, but those are the awards they give out and don't televise that they're giving them out and no one pays attention. It's like,
I liked Keenan talking about being on the floor and like slurring the words, "Girl can write a song."
Yeah.
And Slow-Mo 80 going, Taylor Swift. This is great. Everybody should love it. That should be the only sketch that people should see from this episode, maybe.
No, this episode was amazing. Everybody should watch all of it.
Actually, wait, Woman in the Workplace later. It's great.
Yes, Woman in the Workplace. Yeah.
I hated women in the workplace. I hated women in the workplace.
Wow. Okay, let's jump ahead to that then, because that was a great sketch, and fuck you, Leah.
Okay.
What did you not like about Women in the Workplace?
It was fun. It was kitschy. All of the ladies were so talented and so underused in this episode that as soon as that sketch rolled around, I was like, yes!
That's true.
Cecily and Kate McKinnon getting a showcase to do like weird voices and weird transitions where they were always like turning away or like putting stuff on hands on their face for no reason while it dissolved to the next scene. Leah, what did you not like?
I was just bored. Maybe because it was like the last sketch and I was bored throughout the entire thing, and so by the time we got to this was one of the longer sketches of the evening.
Was it?
It was, yeah, well, to me it seemed like 100 years long. I don't know, it really, maybe Vanessa Bayer? I don't know. It just didn't work for me. There was nothing I really found very funny, and I almost thought it was kind of their response to like the women harassment thing, and I don't know. It didn't really work for me.
I kind of liked how it was. I mean, something that has been said in other reviews is that, and it's happened every time there's a black host, is that kind of they use the opportunity to do a bunch of racially sketches with race-based politics or topics, or so that, like, how's he doing? I don't know why I was trying to be very politically correct in how I said that, but like this was actually I liked this in a way because it was kind of taking that from an unexpected viewpoint where it was filled with like white cast members for talking about like how to deal with diversity is how they kept on saying it, and like always talking about I just wrote down like every time they said diversity in a weird way. Has a diverse person tried to talk to you? And then Vanessa trying to do a diverse handshake, which was like just a racist, like very elaborate handshake. And let's put the diversity truck in reverse-D. I'm apparently alone because nobody else is saying anything.
No, I thoroughly enjoyed this sketch, and I really think that I really want to see it come back. Just with a bunch of different hosts, because they mentioned so many other, I didn't write any of them down, but other like episodes in Women in the Workplace that could totally come back and be hilarious. I just think it looks like, even just from a purely like visual standpoint, looks so different from all the other stuff they do because it's so 90s and terrible looking that it's fun, and it's, I don't know, had me giggling. had me chuckling. You know?
I just liked a lot of the little surreal bits, like these files need to be filed all the way, and like all these like really weird turns of phrases. Kate McKinnon slapping her forehead slowly after Vanessa Bayer makes a mistake or whatever. I loved it.
Okay,
Fuck you, Leah.
I really like it.
I accept that. I accept it, and I move on in life, because what can I do?
Also, lots of open mouth kissing.
Yeah, a lot of it. I like that.
I know! Do
Tons.
I get points for open mouth kissing on 80's part, but Vanessa doesn't get points for open mouth kissing? Because her mouth was like solidly.
Points. I will say now that I said Vanessa and 80 were open mouthed, and then
No, but Vanessa wasn't.
And then Jay, Beck, Cecily, and Kate were closed mouth. I don't know. Russell can overturn that easily.
I'm gonna argue it.
Bank robbers. Bank robbers is the last sketch to talk about.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I think this is what happened. We went to commercial. We came back from commercial, and there was a shot of there was a Chris Rock like bumper image, and the band was playing live, and it was about 5 seconds, and then we went back to commercial, and we came back to this sketch. And between that, where they were like playing live, I've seen that before, and I think it happens when a commercial break is scheduled to end, but they're not ready yet, so they just throw it back to commercial. And I think they cut a live sketch, maybe because the episode was going so weird, maybe they were out of time, and they threw on this bank robber sketch, which has no celebrities whatsoever, and also no Leslie Jones, so I feel like it might have been filmed early in the season, either for an earlier host.
Why would Leslie Jones be in it? Pete Davidson wasn't in it. There was other people.
No, if Leslie Jones was in it, I would have thought maybe they filmed it in the last couple of weeks. Hey, Sarah. If Leslie Jones was in it, I would have thought it might have been filmed in the last couple of weeks after she was promoted to a cast member. But because she wasn't in it, that just is one more tiny detail that makes me think it might have been filmed earlier in the season, cut potentially from past episodes because they were stronger, and then thrown in here to fill the time. That's my conspiracy. Megan had a conspiracy earlier. I'm allowed my own conspiracy.
You are. I have plenty of conspiracies about SNL, so yeah, jump on board.
Is it one of your 3 notes that you wrote about the episode?
No, I actually don't have a conspiracy about this episode. So.
Okay. You do have a conspiracy that they're obsessed with goats.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fact.
But we won't get into that. No.
Should I plug Magnolia Bakery? I feel like I've shit-talked a lot of...
You haven't talked about Magnolia Bakery in so long. You used to have so many stories about meeting asshole celebrities in Magnolia Bakery.
I know. I feel like I should tell one just to plug so we don't lose all of our sponsorships tonight.
Let's talk about bank robbers, though. What did we actually think about the sketch itself? I thought there were some nice details. I didn't really care for it.
Yeah, I mean, I think the premise was kind of interesting. I think that, I don't know if it's just me being a sensitive, like, piss baby or whatever, but I don't know. It could be. I am kind of a piss baby, but...
Aren't we all
right?
Piss babies? Yeah, deep down. We're all just a bunch of piss babies.
Just deep inside, you know? But, like, there's been a lot of, like, gun violence this year, and, like, having them blasting into a bank with automatic weapons or semi-automatic weapons, big guns, was like kind of jarring and uncomfortable for me, which I don't know, probably just me being a piss baby, but I noticed someone else on Twitter saying it, so I'm not alone. Aside from that, the premise was good, but I think they could have heightened it a little bit more, because the real joy of that sketch for me was like the Union soldier stuff, where they're like, oh, I'm a Union soldier, like it just gets stupider and stupider kind of thing. It's the kind of sketch I can see, or the kind of premise.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of thing. Where it's like, I feel like, and this is me being even more of a piss baby, y'all, but like if we handed this premise to like the Lonely Island or whatever, I feel like they could just like hit it out of the park and like make it explode off the face of the planet. Like it needs that level of weird to work.
Yeah.
And it was almost there. It was almost there. It had some moments. I don't know if it was fully there for me. Yeah.
Leah?
Yeah, I mean, There were parts where I kind of smiled, but overall I got a little bored with the concept of it and didn't really go anywhere for me, so I don't know.
Yeah. Watching it back, I was shocked to see it was like 3 minutes long, because it was like a
Yeah,
minute
it
into
felt long. It felt long, because I was like, I'm done with this. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
It's cute. It's cute what you're doing. I'm done.
There
Let's
was
move on.
also a weird moment that was undercut by one of my favorite jokes, where it was like it cut to Kate McKinnon as the manager and Beck and taking the money out of the vault, and it was like really honestly creepy for a second, where Beck Bennett was just like, I know what a girl like you needs, and I'm like, I don't know why, but that was the most uncomfortable part of the sketch.
It felt like a rape joke. It felt like he was going to do a rape joke, and I think that's what they were going for. And then when he goes for the pin, it's like I couldn't even laugh because I was like, oh, I'm just relieved that you didn't make that into what I thought you were going to make it into.
And then it was followed up by her calling him Charlie, which was my favorite thing. Which, oh, Charlie.
Like they robbed the bank before.
Do you feel like Beck Bennett and Kate McKinnon have weird energy together?
I've never noticed, but I'm sure I'll be looking out for it now. What kind of weird energy are you talking
I don't know, because of this one, and the only other time I can think of them like interacting together was the figure skating one.
Oh, they also were the ones that kissed at the end of the diversity in the workplace.
They just have, I don't know, something about them together makes me real uncomfortable. I just don't like the two of them together. Like there's something kind of, Beck Bennett creeps me out a little bit anyway, and I feel like he's always paired with her to be creepy, and so, I don't know, I just don't like it.
You don't ship McKennett? You don't ship that?
Oh no!
You don't ship McKennett? I portmanteaued their name together. I Brangelina them.
What kind of horrible fandom pothole have you fallen into? That's not good.
No.
I feel like Beck Bennett feels a lot like Chris Parnell, and I really like him because of that. He just has that weird, like, kind of, I'm a doctor businessman type that's, like, really weird, but hilarious.
That is a good comparison.
I like Kate McKinnon, too, obviously. I felt like that goes with it.
I've never thought of Bennett as a Chris Parnell, but that actually works, I think.
A little. It does work. But he's way creepier than Chris Parnell.
Yeah, when Chris Parnell goes creepy, he's like funny creepy. When Beck Bennett goes creepy, he's kind of
real creepy. it's like I might run into this person at 2 a.m. in a bar creepy, you know?
I feel that.
It's a little too real. Let's pull it back, Beck. Let's pull it back.
So overall, the episode, I think we all thought it was weird. And like even the good stuff towards the beginning was overshadowed by how weird it got. And yeah, any overall thoughts?
I don't have an overall thought, but I did write down that Colin Jost was wearing a dinosaur T-shirt in Goodbyes. So if that helps anyone,
so there's that. And next week on what Colin Jost is wearing.
Oh man, yeah.
Leah?
Overall thoughts. No.
Great.
Yeah.
It was.
Right.
I think it was just a case of like a weird energy, like the show got weird at one point, and it just continued on that sort of weird.
Snowballed really badly.
Snowballed kind of.
Yeah, it
path.
escalated quickly.
And then by air, it was like. Yeah, totally. But I think Woody Harrelson, right, and Kendrick Lamar. Yes, Woody Harrelson.
Yes,
and Kendrick Lamar. I'm looking forward to that.
Couple extra notes from Twitter. Brian said he thought the diversity in the workplace sketch felt like it was dragging. I also remember somebody. Actually, it might have been AV Club or Vultures, or maybe both, saying that. If the ISIS sketch wanted to be truly edgy, they would have actually had the sharks buy into the business instead of...
That's what I thought as well. I thought it was a little bit of a cop-out that one of them didn't.
I don't think any of them did. I think they were all like, no, I'm out. Instead of... Because maybe they didn't want to say that these real people who really exist would fund a terrorist organization, but I don't know.
Fair enough.
It's just a thought. It's a thought.
Fuck 'em.
So, shall we go to points?
Points!
Yeah.
All right. So, Megan, what's your team? Just for reference.
Santa's My Boyfriend is my team. Team Santa's My Boyfriend.
So what
That
cast
is
members?
who's on it. That would help you. I have Taryn, 80, and Cecily.
Okay. And Leah,
What?
who's on your team?
Taryn, 80, and Sashir.
Uh-oh.
And I'm Taryn, Keenan, and Davidson. So, what would people guess are the top scoring cast members of the night? Leah?
I would go with maybe Cecily and Keenan.
Megan?
I would probably Keenan. I would back Keenan and who else? Maybe Leslie Jones had a good week. She was in a lot. It felt like.
Yeah, I feel like she's going to disappear for the next couple of weeks.
The top three are, at least according to unofficial, and Russell can correct it on triviaclub.blogspot either tonight or tomorrow. Keenan with 48 points, Jay Farrell with 45 points,
Oh, wow.
and Cecily Strong with 39 points.
Dang.
Kind of shocking to me. I didn't expect to see Cecily up there. I didn't remember her being in a lot of stuff.
See, I was thinking her and Bobby were both kind of in a lot.
Well, Bobby was one of the, except for Vanessa, he was the lowest of the regular cast.
Oh, really? Oh, I
Yeah.
wouldn't have guessed that. I felt like he was more than usual.
Beck Bennett was the best of the featureds at 36, which is tied with Kate McKinnon, and Leslie Jones actually only got 18 points, but that was including negative points for breaking a bunch.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. If she hadn't have done that, she would have been a little bit above Pete Davidson, who was 20 points.
Dang.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember seeing Jay in that much, but that's crazy. That's great.
He showed up a bunch. Cat Williams was a recurring
Okay.
couple of things. Yeah. Yeah, so really quickly we can move on to news. Do we want to talk about Michael Che? Really quickly, there was a popular viral video this week about filming an actress walking around New York City for 10 hours, got harassed, the video claims, over 100 times. Michael Che made some tweets that I'm not even going to bother looking up. It was just a weird, half serious, half not, hard to tell, where he was just like, I'm sorry if I've ever harassed women. It's almost like when people come up to me screaming about SNL, I love you.
Wait, but that was the second one in defense of what he originally posted.
What did he originally post?
His original post was, oh, I'm sorry, ladies, for all the times that I've called you beautiful or said smile or have a good day. Didn't mean to harass you, something along those lines. And then when people were like, fuck off, that is harassment, he was like, oh, it's kind of like when people come up to me for being famous and are like, oh, you're on SNL. I don't remember your name.
Yeah, he kept doubling down. It was weird.
And then it was, sorry, I guess I'll just keep making jokes that nobody likes or something like that.
He said something about, like, I forgot that my Twitter is now for everybody and not just for me or something, and, like, it was weird. Like, it was hard to tell how serious he was being.
Yeah.
He did, 13 minutes ago, he did tweet, too late to apologize, come on, man, which may have been a reference to One Republic's song Apologize, because they say apologize in that, or, I don't know, could be cryptic. I have no idea. I don't know.
I'm looking for this now.
Yeah, I just noticed it right as we were, well, I was on Twitter looking at, anyway, I was paying attention to the podcast is what I was doing. No, it just, the whole Che thing strikes me as just strange because he's so funny and so smart, and it just doesn't add up.
Yeah, I wanna take it as he was just trying to make a joke, because otherwise I would really dislike him as a person and tell him to fuck off.
Yeah, I think that's fair. It's such a weird, it was just such a weird thing to read from him. It's such a weird thing.
So let's assume in the spirit that he was completely joking about the matter, and that didn't do a good job of it.
Yes. I hope so. I hope so.
Because otherwise, he's a ignorant asshole, and that would be that.
We don't want that. We want to see the best of people.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of people being assholes, apparently we're assholes, kind of. In an interview, 80 Bryant. Let me see if I can find the exact quote. I think it's Daily Beast.
Oh, you're breaking up. You're breaking up about what 80 Bryant said.
80 Bryant, in an article about how she's so great on SNL, which is true, she says that one of the changes that the cast really talks about behind the scenes these days is that the show is really broken down sketch by sketch, and in terms of like screen time, how much each cast member has done, and that I think she said something like, it's a comedy show, if you didn't really like it, then just kind of move on. So she apparently hates us. The Fantasy League has had run-ins with the cast on Twitter before, where Russell has tagged them, usually to say this person was an MVP, and then once Taron Killam corrected Russell's math, and the other time Noel Wells apologized to Russell because Russell, while calling her the MVP, said that her Allison Hannigan impression wasn't great. And Noel Wells said, it was sad because it was Noel Wells' birthday. And,
oh no, what?
Yeah.
Which was why she was tagged. To be fair, the reason she was tagged in it was because Russell wished her a happy birthday, not thinking he had completely offended her in his blog by saying she did a shitty impression. But I was in parentheses for defending her, so Leah's a hero.
Yeah. Leah, what are your thoughts on whether or not we are jerks?
To be fair, yes, I've said this before. It's so easy for us to sit here and make comments about people who are actually putting themselves out there and doing this for a living. But part of that is we do have a deep love for it, and we do generally enjoy it, and we don't mean it in a malicious nature whatsoever. And I think it's more an insecurity about a performer having it put in their face where maybe it wasn't in the past, that they're not getting as much play or getting as much attention, or their skits didn't really land. And that all factors whether or not they get hired the next season. And maybe it's something they like to ignore for the season, and now it's something that's brought into daylight a bit more.
It's being quantified in a way that it wasn't before.
And they don't like it, and fair enough, they don't like it, but it's fucking life, and let's move on. What the fuck do they care what we think? I don't fucking care what we think, so
We have 2 viewers right now. Who cares?
Oh, no. I mean, I don't know. I think I get where they're coming from, because when you you write 90 minutes of sketch, you kind of are like, oh, just, take it at face value. It's kind of like, it's meant to be one cohesive thing.
As this week showed,
picking it apart.
Sketch live is really, really hard to do.
Yes, it's an extremely hard thing to do, which is why we don't do it and they do.
But sorry, I interrupted Megan.
No. I sort of get where they're coming from, but at the same time, I think it's like putting together a league and like getting together and talking about this and doing like a podcast and like caring so deeply about the show is only done because the people involved really love it. So
yeah,
totally echo you there in terms of that kind of mindset. It's and I don't know if she was specifically coming after us. I think she was just like
no, I don't think so.
I think that's almost an ego thing to think.
I wasn't seriously suggesting it, but I think that we are part of that. I know.
No, and we are. We do absolutely. But I hope that we put out as much good as maybe a disparaging remark that we say, not including GoPro or Arby's or Topher Grace. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. I think that's
I'm sorry, 80.
We love 80, and we wish he was in it more.
Yes. That's true.
I think that's a good summary. Just obviously it's out of love, and I think it's kind of also part of it where in this YouTube age, the show doesn't exist as a whole anymore. It's going to exist as separate sketches, and
but if you're gonna call people out on doing that, call out the company you work for, NBC, who posts these things as 3-minute clips.
Well,
like,
if they don't, then somebody else is going to do it.
No, I realize that, but you're also, the company you work for is also adding to what you're describing. Do you know what I mean? On Hulu, it's 3-minute clips, and on their website, it's 3-minute clips, and that's just, people have the attention span of 5 seconds now. It's just the age we're living in, so I don't know.
But on the other hand, that doesn't necessarily translate into justifying tracking screen time per cast member. But I don't think we do that or anybody else does that out of maliciousness. It's just that Saturday Night Live is such a weird, unique. It's how we get points. But it's also Saturday Night Live is such a weird, unique show and format and institution that kind of studying it in a way, like obviously we're not studying it in a way that is, academic or anything, but it's just that we're so interested and fascinated with this unique beast that looking at it like in this way is just fun.
Yeah, like a Terran heavy episode is going to be so different from like a Jay Farrow heavy episode. Like it's just they're going to be like the same format and the same show, but completely different episodes of television in a way, just because these performers are bringing different things to the show. And it's interesting to sort of track that and be like, oh, that's kind of felt like this tonight, Oh, maybe it was because. So anyway, that's going a bit too deep down the rabbit hole. But it's interesting to sort of it will be so different week to week based on something as simple as like one person got one extra role in a sketch compared to another person. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I also don't think we judge the performers based on how often they're in it. Because like we said, we love A.D. Bryant, and it's like, why wasn't A.D. Bryant in it more tonight? Mm-hmm. Last season it was Nassim. Every time Nassim was in a sketch, was kind of hitting it out of the park, and we were like, why the hell isn't Nassim in more sketches?
Mm-hmm.
And something that actually we've talked about with Russell is, and he's like tried to move towards it, but we've kind of said it I don't think it would work, is that right now, the way it works is if a cast member shows up and has a line, they get 5 points for a sketch. And that doesn't necessarily make clear if somebody had like a starring role or just like a walk-on role. And Russell has tried in the past to suggest that we could potentially work out a system where a starring role or somebody who clearly knocks it out of the park gets more points. But at that point, it becomes such a subjective thing, and like just saying like I find this cast member funny or I find that cast member funnier, that it kind of ruins the fun in a way. And Russell could easily argue against this or have his own points, and he's not here to defend himself. But yeah.
Everybody pick on Russell. What's everyone's least favorite quality of Russell?
He spells his name without a second L. And I keep messing up.
Yeah, what's with the one L? What's with the one L?
I have never met Russell, and I have just made him hate me. That is fantastic.
And I hope to never meet him.
Russell is never going to sponsor this podcast.
Oh, God, we lost our sponsorship.
On that note, I think we should come to an end. Thank you so much, Leah and Megan, for being here. Leah, where could people find you?
They can find me at Leah Sueko on Twitter.
Megan?
Sueko.
Okay. S-U-E-K-O.
I am at MMMEGAN on Twitter. That's
okay. And your YouTube. And you have a YouTube.
YouTube.com/Megan MacKay. That's me. Da-da-da-da.
And this will be on, this podcast is on youtube.com/Trivia Club or under the Trivia Club Network on SoundCloud and iTunes if you're listening on one and you don't know about the others. You can find me at Rob Exists on Twitter and Deep Thoughts SNL on Twitter. Tweets about the show, any news, and alumni, old cast members, what they're up to. So yeah, I want to thank everybody for being here. It was fun, and we should totally, either we should definitely or not do more late night podcasts.
Definitely, I vote definitely.
All right, this episode was sponsored by Arby's and
GoPro.
Thank you, everybody.
Get up today, Target.
At the Freedom Tower Target. The Freedom Tower Target.
Flower.